All right, let's set the table. This is pre-meeting number 1 from applying the scientific method to the geometry of the Earth, a panel hosted by Dr. Shiva back in November. This isn't a debate. This isn't the experiment or the post-mortem. This is where claims meet definitions before anyone embarrasses themselves live. This is where we set ground rules, expectations, methods, uncertainties, the boring stuff conspiracy culture always skips and then screams about afterwards. No slogans, no vibes, no trust me bro here. If your argument can't survive this meeting, it has no business showing up to the experiment to begin with. This isn't censorship, this is quality control. Welcome back to Unfornicated and to pre-meeting number 1, where bad science gets fixed or filtered.
Recording in progress.
Good evening. Let's just do a test. Do we have Dr. Prabhakar here?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have Mike here?
Yep,
Mike, how are you?
I'm good.
And is that... Oh, okay. Hey, Dan. And then, good. And we have Kevin too, right? And I think... Kevin, are you there? Can you unmute Prabhakar?
Yeah. One moment.
Okay. So we're going to wait. We should have 10 people here. People have been a little bit circumspect about giving their phone numbers and this. And I'm not really sure why, except I think this one group of people, what's the guy's name? The stupid idiot. Flat Earth Dave had some people on his team actually threaten people physically. So we've been very, very careful about sharing people's phone numbers and emails. So anyway, we wanted to do this meeting to give everyone an opportunity to understand what the goal is, why we laid this out, what the process is, and what the agenda is. Okay?
Okay.
We invited, I think there should be a number of other people. We have, I think on the, Kevin, you're out in England, right? Or somewhere overseas?
I'm overseas, but in Austria.
You're in Austria. Okay. Yeah. So we moved it a little bit here to help you.
Cool.
And then Mike is in the United States. Dan, where are you? Are you in the US?
Yes, I'm actually in New York.
Okay. And Dan, you're on the round earth side, right?
Correct.
Okay. And Kevin, you're on the flat earth. Mike, if I remember, you're on the round earth.
Yep.
And Prabhakar, you're on the round earth. We have 1, 2, 3. There should be 4. So we're missing 6 people. So we may do it again. We want it, maybe some people didn't see the email, whatever. So at the outset, the reason I got involved in this is from pure interest in science education. And the concern that people did not know what the scientific method was. And that emerged out of my, just to give you, I didn't even know who Flat Earth Dave was. I was my assistant at sets up various meetings, and I was literally shoveling snow that day. And I was called in that meeting, and I was a little bit amazed that he didn't know what the scientific method was. And it brought this larger question of what's going on to science education. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to bring people of these quote unquote 2 sides, there may be 10 sides, and to really hone the problem down from an engineering perspective and have discourse to understand what is the scientific method, educate the public, take a problem like this, bound the problem, so people don't go all over the map. And in this process, if you saw the tweets that I was doing, I was appalled at the quality of people out there. People didn't know basic math. People would just say statements, violence. So I think we're in a very, very interesting point in human history. There have been various points in human history where things could head into the dark ages. So I think this is an opportunity to really have this discourse in a meaningful way. And to really, hopefully, let people know these problems are not easy. Science is not an easy task. It takes a lot of effort. So that's the background how I got involved in this. So I'm really interested in science education, particularly for young people. And maybe perhaps, Mike, each one of you guys could sort of give your background, what motivates in you. Prabhakar, do you want to, Prabhakar's coming. Go ahead, Prabhakar, you can give your background and why you're interested in this.
Sure. I mean, I think my interests pretty much align with what Dr. Shiva outlined there is the purpose of scientific education, because I think the future depends on it. If you don't understand how the world works, and one of the ways that we understand how the world works is through science, and one of the foundational principles of doing science is the scientific method. And I think that's where everybody should be educated. And I think I see, I mean, I don't have any experience or any background in looking at flat Earth and round Earth debate, but uh, it is one of those problems where you need to have strong communication. And that's why my interest is, and my background is, I trained as a chemical engineer, and then I did my a doctorate in biomedical engineering, and I've been working as a systems biologist. So I am trained to look at problems from a systems perspective. So
Let's go over to Kevin. Kevin in Austria. Maybe you can give us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, my field is normally media management, so I'm thinking about other stuff normally, but I got interested in the debate 6, 7 years ago, and yeah, I learned in college. I learned a lot about deception, and I had basic math courses as well, and I could see too far one day, and thought I tried to measure myself. I saw your ramblings about it, and I think I can provide math, and I can present 2 or 3 tests which will suffice your premise and your suggestions. And yeah, I'm curious how the debate goes. I'm wondering if it's only engineers. I don't know if MC Toon is an engineer. I heard it will be 5 engineers, 1 MIT. That's why I was hoping to get the debate with physics engineers, but yeah, I will take it as it is, and I would like to present yeah, 1 or 2 bigger experiments on Saturday. And yeah, I spent a lot of time to prepare, half a year to prepare only, and then do tests. So I get what you mean with science isn't easy.
Great. Thanks, Kevin. Let's go over to Dan. Dan, oh, maybe you can,
Sure.
many of you, first time sort of we're meeting in this thing. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I have a little bit of background in the flat Earth world. I was, I'd say, wasn't a content creator until recently. I got into flat Earth because I have a teenage daughter, and I something having to do with science and science communication is something that I wanted to share with her and be able to do with her, whether we're doing experiments in the garage or we're doing our own observations, things like that. And that's kind of how I got into having a channel and starting to do things on YouTube. I've worked with Mike on a few different things, and he's actually one of the first channels I actually subscribed to. My background's simple. I joined the military out of the Navy. I worked in signals intelligence for the U.S. Navy. I had combat deployments. I was responsible for managing and operating various different networks that were based on radio. So whether they were HF, UHF, SHF, satellite communications, fiber optics, things like that, it grew into a career in telecommunications, and I've been doing that for 25 plus years. So a lot of my background has to do with the EM field. It has to do with networking technologies, whether they be from 30 years ago in the old T1s to 400 gigabytes that we're doing now. And yeah, that's pretty much kind of like the gist of it. It's something that I became passionate about as far as the science things, just because my daughter started showing me some of her social medias that she was looking at, and I was appalled by some of the videos that I saw that were available to her on TikTok. And while I wasn't necessarily concerned about her, because her love of science and math, but I was concerned about her friends who did not have the same parenting aspects of it or have background of it.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Mike, can you unmute, or if you have, give us your background, Mike?
Yeah.
How you involved in all this? Yeah.
At university, I studied electrical engineering and computer science. For my career, I have been a software engineer writing mostly email filtering software. I've been involved in the flat Earth debate realm for about 7.5 years, and I have my YouTube channel is just 7 years old now, so I've been debating them for a while. I think that flat Earth's been around about 10 years, so I missed the first 3 on YouTube.
Okay. Mike, and one of the things you alluded to me, which got me concerned, was you've actually some people have threatened you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is somewhat serious because when I started doing this, I was called a demon by this guy, Flat Earth Dave. And I found out other things. There's another guy who was threatened a guy to kill him, the guy who actually got out of the Antarctica thing. So I intentionally, if I found anyone associated with that realm, didn't really want to participate with them, because I don't frankly want to invite, I think, that quality of people into this. I've worked too hard in my life to have those kind of people in my life, and I don't think we want that. And that's just sort of a hard line that I've drawn. So what I wanted to do was, I'll probably have to do this again with the others who didn't come, but since we're here, I just wanted to level set. Maybe Dr. Prabhakar, can you bring up a PowerPoint on your end? Are you there? Prabhakar, you have to unmute. You're muted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
I'm
just
bringing
wanted
it up.
all of us, this is going to be like basic. This is something you learned, I think, when did we learn it? 7th grade? I just want to make sure. I did a video on this that everyone's clear, because the goal here is to apply the scientific method. Wherever that leads us, it leads us there. And I think everyone's heard the famous Richard Feynman video. Has everyone seen that? Kevin, Dan, Mike?
Yep. Yeah.
It was in your last talk, which you sent us via mail. I saw that, yes.
Yeah. So to me, what was great about Feynman was he understood that you would come across things. Just because the mind couldn't understand it doesn't mean it was wrong, meaning we tend to think human beings are the center of the universe. And when things don't make sense to us intuitively, we think it's wrong. And I think Feynman was very, very good at observing that even if it doesn't make sense to us, it doesn't mean it's wrong. So, Prabhakar, I think you can just do it as, if you can erase it, let's just do it as boxes. So I think in the scientific method, the first box is you come up with a observation, right? You can skip to hypothesis, but there's an observation that you see. And if we can draw an arrow down, Prabhakar, that observation, if you're interested as a scientist, that leads to a hypothesis. And that hypothesis is typically articulated in the world of modern science in a mathematical equation. So if you see some force impinging on a mass and you see acceleration, you may initially say the hypothesis, Prabhakar, in the hypothesis thing right below it, maybe you can put F equals M 2MA. Let's just put that for fun. You can put it right in the box, Prabhakar, in the hypothesis box, right below the word hypothesis. So you can see something, you can come up with a mathematical formulation, F equals, let's say, or MA squared, Prabhakar. I don't know if you can put it, if it lets you do a superscript. I think it should. Yeah, you can, right. So is that everyone clear on that? That first process?
Yep.
Everyone? Okay. So you see an observation, you make a hypothesis. The next step after that is you do an experiment. You design an experiment and you do the experiment. Okay. You can put it, yeah. An experiment is done. And out of that, you gather data. So you do the experiment. And the next box is data gathering. And the data gathering, in this case, you would gather data. You'd gather data like, you can put the next line, Prabhakar, F, comma, M, comma, A, right? You'd gather these 3 pieces of data, force, mass, and acceleration, and you'd put it into some kind of tabular format, right? Is that everyone cool with that?
Yep.
Okay. Then once you gathered the data, next thing you would do is you would mine the data. Next box that there, I don't know where you want to put it, Prabhakar. You may want to put the experiment below, Prabhakar, so you save some economy of space. Yeah, right below. Yeah. And maybe you can put the data gathering way at the top and we can come down. Yeah. You can go from experiment up there. So you gather data, and typically you do some type of mining of the data, which you could think about or data organization. Instead of using data mining, we'll just say data, organize the data. Right.
Analyze the data.
Yeah. You organize the data, and then you get a model. Okay. You get some type of model.
Doesn't the model come out of the hypothesis?
Yeah, so that's your hypothesis, right? So it's typically you manipulate, mine, model, you manipulate, measure, mine, and model. That's the model that comes from the data. You can, there's 2 models, right? The original hypothesis and what you're getting from the data, okay? So we could call it something else. I don't know what you want to call it, but you have it's a reality what you're seeing, right? The hypothesis is your hypothetical model, right? And then you organize the data, and then you do a data model of that. And that gives you another equation, okay? Which could be F equals MA, right? For example. And then obviously, if that model doesn't match your hypothesis was wrong, okay? So Prabhakar, after the data model, you can put a line to the right with one of those diamonds. You can say, does model match hypothesis? Or the results, We can get the terms, whatever we want to agree on, everyone. And we can, decide on that mutually. So, does model match with the hypothesis? And if it does, then you say a hypothesis was wrong. I would just say model match hypothesis, question mark, Prabhakar. So Dan, Kevin, Mike, Prabhakar, everyone, does that make sense?
Yep.
Next line, hypothesis, and you can put a question mark, maybe expand it. And you have 2 things coming out of that. Yes, your hypothesis right. No, your hypothesis was wrong. Okay?
I think you have to be cautious on yes hypothesis is right side, because there could still be unknowns.
Yeah, it's bounded based on this hypothesis, right? Like, for example, you can take Newton's law, right? It did not include the speed of light, right?
Yeah.
And when you found out objects move at the speed of light, you had to adjust that, and you had to add the Lorentz transformation, right? Is that what you're saying, Mike?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think going to what Karl Popper talked about, where you never get to where you've proven anything. And so when you say the hypothesis is right, it kind of suggests proving, instead of the kind of Popperian version of you have failed to falsify, or a little less Popper, you say you have confirming evidence, but it's not proving evidence.
Well, I think let's try to keep it simple terms, okay? Because a lot of people don't know what Karl Popper is.
Yeah.
I think we need to keep this less academic. I think the bottom line is this: everything we're seeing in whatever you're looking out through your eyes, through your five senses that you're seeing, you're trying to understand what the world is. We're all creating models. The Bohr model of thinking that the electron was going around the nucleus was a very simplified model, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're constantly coming up with some way of visualizing it using our human brains, right? And then it said, okay, that's not true. It's actually more probabilistic. You have probability of where an electron is, right? So we moved from this concept to a different model. So I think this is something I think we need to explain to people. We are in this physical body looking out of this physical body, and we're creating models. Everything's a fucking model. And if the model happens to predict things, then you know that the model is good, because evidence is reproducible predictions. So I think it's really important to understand this and explain to people it's a model, right? And if your model explains reality over and over again, with enough time, Mike, it becomes quote unquote a law, right? Until it gets refined again. But it's an iterative process.
Yeah, but you don't have the unaccounted variables in the equation, in the whole thing. What Mike was telling, like you need to account for as many variables as possible, and then you can think, yeah, you have it right, and then there could be still more variables to think about. But if your model is good and you account for a lot of variables already, then we can talk, yeah.
And wouldn't that be under the experiment? So if you do the experiment and say methodology, and you design your methodology, you're accounting for a certain amount of variables that are known and possibly unknown at that time.
Yeah, if you think about the simple case of an object falling, you use force, mass, and acceleration, right? And gravitate. And eventually, then you say, oh, I got to add wind resistance, right? And you layer that in. You can keep adding variables. We understand that to refine the model. I think that's what we're all saying, right?
Yeah.
And that can be a process. That's what engineers do all day long. Your model is not matching what you see. Oh, I didn't include friction. Oh, I got to add viscosity, right? I got to add this. I got to add this. And eventually, you're adding variables that your model starts predicting reality. I think we need to make it clear this is not an end. The process doesn't just end. It's going to continue and continue and continue.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Who's this?
This is Dr. Nagase.
Oh, okay. How are you?
So, well, surviving at least 2 assassination attempts here in Canada, but the Crown hates you. They don't even try to sue you. They'll just try and kill you. So,
wait.
so,
Wait. Before you jump in, we're having a conversation here. I think you just joined. We introduced everyone. And we're just level setting what the scientific method is.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I think the audience we have with the flat earthers, they have about the.
Stop. If you could just introduce yourself so everyone knows, because you're coming in late. No, Kevin introduced himself. Mike did. Dan did. So
I'm Dr. Nagase. I'm an emergency doctor. I been an emergency doctor until I was fired, and I lost 2 medical licenses for giving ivermectin and talking about the dangers of mRNA and the genetic reverse transcriptase and DNA damage. So because I did a public speech about that, I lost 2 medical licenses. And that's my story.
Okay, good to have you. What we're doing is we're basically, there's some noise in the background, and people can be mindful, just out of respect to others, that you mute yourself if you're making a lot of noise. But what we're doing is we're just level setting.
Yeah, I heard a bit of the conversation earlier. A lot of what I've heard so far,
Wait a minute,
it's beyond the capabilities of comprehension of a flat Earth audience.
Yeah, but stop. That's not, we're not going down to the lowest common denominator.
Right. So if we don't at least give them something that they can comprehend, then unfortunately, the minute you call a model, which is what's accurate, that's the scientific method, they're going to seize the keyword, the trigger word model, and they'll accuse you of creating a fake.
Okay, listen, can you stop for a second? We have an hour because I have to end this meeting exactly in an hour. So I don't want this to be we understand all these issues. What we're doing right now, among there flat earthers here and there's non-flat earthers here. We are both level setting what is the scientific method among ourselves here. We're not here to appease some audience. Okay? So we can go back to unmute, but I just want us to understand and everyone acknowledge the terms we're going to use among ourselves, because we're going to use this as a blueprint for approaching this. So any questions or concerns about what's been done here? So let's level set that. We're not here to, yeah.
So the quick question I have is when we use the term data model, this is also along the lines of prediction. And, we're using a model to make a prediction as far as based off the hypothesis and things like that, correct?
Well, let's just take a simple case, okay? Which is what I did in that video.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sorry, you've interrupted me about half a dozen times. Let me finish my piece, just out of respect here. I've sacrificed more than most people, okay?
Going over the
I'm not going to go into the details, but...
Wait a minute. I'm facilitating this meeting. Stop jumping in. Otherwise, I'm going to kick you out. I thought you were good to have here, but what I want to do right now is let's focus the discussion on this diagram and everyone get the terminology right. So among us, we understand what the scientific method is. So if you want to add to that, everyone can add to that. So go ahead. Any questions about this? Any terminology, Mike, Nagasi, Dan, Kevin, Prabhakar, that you guys want to refine here?
I think it's good to say that you do get a model from the hypothesis, and so maybe give that a more clear name so it's not ambiguous, because when you have a data model, that people that don't deal with data much don't.
We don't need to use the word data. I agree.
Yeah.
So why don't we say hypothesis / model? That's the original, right?
Yeah.
And then you could say, you don't have to say data model, you could say result.
There you go.
Organize the data and you get the result. Is that simpler?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's clear.
Okay. Clear. And then you compare, does the model match the result? Model / hypothesis. We do want to make it simple, but we don't want to take away the essence.
We don't want to simplify it too much either.
So we're using the term observation. Everyone cool with that?
Mm-hmm. Because we don't want to simplify it too much either, is what you're saying as well.
Well, we're here to educate people. Right. We also want people's consciousness. We're not going to go down to a fucking fool like Dave Flat Earth doofus who wants to go beat up people and call people demons. We're not doing that. This entire discussion has been so low level that's actually become degenerate. We want to raise people's consciousness. So we can't dumb it down to, and then we're going to become a bunch of dummies. But I think the term observation is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any objections to that word observation?
Nope.
Kevin, MC, Dan, Prabhakar,
Nope.
Nagas.
I'm good.
That's good.
Okay, next term, hypothesis model. Is that okay with people? People want to,
Mhm.
yes?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
great.
good.
Okay. Then we have an experiment that's run, out of which you get data, right?
Correct.
All right. From the data, it's organized. The data gets organized in some form.
Right.
And then you get data.
Right. Because so once you have the organization, then you analyze the data, and that's where the results come from.
Yep. And then you compare, do the results match the hypothesis? If they do, yes, the box after yes is your hypothesis at this point in time looks correct, right?
Mhm.
Hypothesis is correct. And if it isn't, your hypothesis is false. Like it's not F equals MA squared. So can we freeze this, or is there anything else you guys want to add? Mark, you may just want to put a title up there, scientific method. Kevin, Mike, Dan.
I like it.
I'm
Okay.
on board.
Does everyone here? So when we start the meeting, we may just have one of you just explain this. Kevin, you, Mike, Dan, etc. All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Prabhakar, if you can replicate the slide. So I think one goal is to explain the scientific method. The other goal is to make sure both parties, and the idea here to everyone was we didn't want to have this a debate. We wanted to have really a collegial discussion. Everyone thinks this is a debate, right? It's more a collegial formulation. So Prabhakar, I would, if you can go to, I don't know if you can make 2 slides. So one is a round earthers. You can put around, you can create 2 versions. You can, yeah. So you notice, so the flat earthers, you have a flat earther should follow this, and the round earther should follow this.
I would say globe because
Yeah.
a lot of the flat earthers think the Earth is round like a disc.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Oh,
Yeah. I would say
Okay.
globe or spherical.
Okay. Is that the term everyone wants to use?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let's.
It's pedantic, but it's tried and
Yeah,
true.
I've been using the word round. So you're saying I should use the word globe. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because when you get in some of the pedantic natures, depending on who you're talking to, it can become very literal in the sense of, well, it is round
Yeah,
like a
but I
tire.
don't know any flat earther who calls himself a round earther.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
I'm just saying that there's a few conductors who say, like, someone will say the Earth is round. They're like, yeah, like a tire, as opposed to like
Or
a
like
sphere.
a pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I don't. This is pedantic. It's circle. You say more circle, but you can use globe for. I mean, a flat earther would rather say it's a circle than round, but round or globe is fine.
Okay. So one is, so it shouldn't actually be sphere then?
Or
Globe
sphere,
works.
same story.
All right.
They'll get pedantic on sphere too.
All right. So we use globe and flat. Okay. All right. So I think each team here, I mean, hopefully the other flat earthers will show up. I mean, I'll probably do another meeting tomorrow night. But the goal would be the globe earthers, ideally both. Prabhakar, if you can highlight observation and observation to be like in both, in red in both, the observation people are making should be the same, the difference will be the flat earthers and the globe earthers are going to have a hypothesis, right? And the globe earthers should come up with their mathematical formulation of that observation. And then the flat earthers should come up with their mathematical formulation of that observation. And then an experiment should get done, data gets gathered, and you go down this process, right?
Yep. Follow.
All right, cool. So something I want people to think about is that, remember, I'm new to this, so I haven't been like in the intricacies of all this discussion. So the simple observation that I can see is you're looking at a certain point, right? You know, I'm here on a hill and I look at a certain point. I'm looking at the John Hancock building, for example, which is at a particular latitude and a longitude relative to me. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Where you are, Kevin or Mike or Dan, if you look out your window, you're looking at a particular point, right? At a particular point in time. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So if you look at that point at a particular point in time meaning date, time, right? Particular day. At that point, the sun is going to be at a certain location. Is that fair? You'll observe the sun at a location.
Right.
Yeah, which sun? Yeah, I know where you're going, but I don't think you will make it work to include every variable in this test.
What do you mean, which sun, Kevin?
Yeah, I know I'm talking about which variables are in between the sun, with all the laws of perspective, all the things you have to look at.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
The earthers and the globe earthers can come up with their formulation. But the point is, evidence is reproducible predictions, right?
Mhm.
So if I'm looking at a certain point, let's say everyone comes to my house here in Cambridge, and we all look at the Hancock building on March 1st, or I don't know, November 5th, 2025 at 5 p.m., the globe earthers should have a formulation to predict the location of the sun using whatever freaking assumptions they want to make. Does that make sense? And the flat earthers can come up whatever they think the earth is flat, all that. They will have a formulation. They should have a mathematical formula. That will be their model. And I think ensuring both parties derive that mathematical formula fits into box 2. So, I think the globe earthers should.
But you see how it's much more complex already than F equals ma. Then
Of course,
yeah.
of course. I'm just giving you an example. But people can use whatever tools they want. They can use Grok if they want, ChatGPT. They can use, if spherical, whatever they want to do. But it's basic math, and I think this is important because we want to know that mathematics and the formulation is very, very important. So whatever assumptions people have, out will come. Obviously, it's going to be far beyond F equals ma. It's going to be whatever the flat earthers decide. They're going to come up with a formula which should give a XY location. It won't be F, right? It'll be location, for example, XYZ is equal to a bunch of variables. Same with the round earthers. And that is there'll be 2 different formulas. And if you plug in the location, where you are and where you're looking at, the flat earthers will predict where the sun is, which will be the data gathering for different points in time, and the round earthers will. And you can just check who's right and who's wrong. And if the model of the round earth is correct, round earthers formulation should predict the location of the sun perfectly, repeatedly. That would be evidence that the earth is round. Alternatively, the earth is flat. The formulation of the flat earthers should predict the sun where it is. So I think what will be interesting is now we may have to do it in 2 sessions, Kevin, to your point. I don't know if this is where you're going, because people may need to go away, and I don't know if they want to use whatever tools. Ideally, people just get on a blackboard and write their assumptions like you would do in, physics class, and you write up your formula.
But I can present my other things which I think is better than the sun, or you want to make it all about the sun, or it was just an example?
Well, I was trying to propose something that would be so simple.
Yeah, it's not the best. It's not the easy. It's okay, and I can debate the sun, but it's the light in the sky is not the first thing I would measure if I want to measure the ground. You can have
Well, let me
physics.
just, what I'm
I
thinking.
can also make a model, yeah, about the sun over the
Well,
flat Earth, but I would prefer to measure something on the ground.
yeah, let me just finish. The proposal here is that what comes out of this is equal on both parties. Anyone could go execute this by themselves, anyone on the planet, on their own. So you don't have this he said, she said, because there are enough, someone in India, a 5-year-old, can go out, use the formula, code it up in, they can even code it up in many programs, and they can see, oh, I'm in Bombay, I'm looking out my thing, it's 2:25 p.m. and I'm looking in that direction. This model says the sun should be over here. This model says this, they can plug it in and see it. The idea was to make it so simple that it's irrefutable. And I think this debate, this quote unquote debate on just the geometry of the earth should be done in such a way look, I teach a lot, okay? I'm very much into finding examples, models that anyone can do so it doesn't become esoteric, and it becomes so hard to explain. No one knows what the fuck someone's talking about. This seemed like something, you come up with your model, whatever you want, propose the experiment, and where's the sun? Round earthers, where's the sun? It's like sort of black and white. Because if one model can predict the sun and the other can't, it's right and wrong. And that's the scientific method.
So just to go into a hypothetical here, in the event that flat and globe both, through different means, create a model that is similar enough within, let's say, a margin of error to actually predict where the sun would be at a certain time, certain date, and things like that, in certain conditions. We're talking about atmospheric stuff like that. When that happens, do we go backwards and say that the hypothesis was too vague, or is it really about black and white?
Let's just walk through your scenario. So, and let's say you come up with Prabhakar, I don't know if you can just go down, make another slide, right? Dan, let's say you come up with a equation, right? Mm-hmm. That's your model. The output of your model is the location of the sun. Prabhakar, say f of x, y, z, f, parentheses, this is what it's going to be, some function, right?
Right.
Y, z. Everyone understands this, right? Mm-hmm. Mathematically is equal to, sine, I'm just going to make some shit up, sine of x, right parentheses, I don't know, times 360 plus arc tan of y to the power of 5. I'm just making this shit up, okay?
Yeah, no, I follow, yeah.
Everyone understands.
Yep.
Kevin, Mike, Prabhakar, you see what I'm saying? Arc of y times, I don't know this, times, we just say z, right? Plus xyz, okay? So let's say that's, Prabhakar, let's say that's the round earth. F, let's say F is for flat earth, okay? So you can keep that. So make it a little bit bigger. So that's the flat earth model, because to derive that, people have to know math. They have to give the assumptions. Okay, we think the Earth is a disk. It's this big, et cetera, whatever they want to do. So total freedom.
Right.
And then G would be the globe. Maybe they'll say it's, instead of sine, they're going to say it's cosine of y, times 280, and so on, right? Oh. And instead of arctan, let's put tangent. They're going to have their formula. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah, no, I follow.
So now, I think this will be very educational for the people watching, to each person, each group, to tell us this is our formula, how you came up with it, and show the assumptions. And my concern is the math skills of the group, their ability to derive this on the fly, or do we say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and we take a break, or we come back the second day and people present their hypothesis. I want to be fair. So process-wise, the groups go away and they come back. They're saying, this is our, Prabhakar put the top one, flat Earth, and the next is globe Earth. So the flat earthers will come back with their formula, and it'd be very nice for them to educate the public how they came up with that number, that formula, and what it means, right?
Yes. That's where I was getting at. Yes.
Right. But I'm saying each group must be held accountable to how they came up. Now, I think what you're saying, Dan, is you put an XYZ location. Let's say XYZ is my home in Cambridge, right? And you come up with an answer. The location is whatever, the answer. And the answers are the same, right? Or near some. You're saying there, right? So that would prove that it's inconclusive. That's if both are giving the same answers, it would mean that it's inconclusive that the Earth is round or flat. That's what it would mean.
Right.
And I think we'd walk away with that, and everyone should be happy with that if that's what's the outcome. The other thing is, I don't know if you guys know, I publish a lot in leading journals. We have the ability, whatever comes out of this, to publish it in a journal, in one of the science journals, okay? And everyone would be co-authors in that. But I'm saying that this formulation is the first step that must be done to fulfill the scientific method. My question to everyone is, do you think people will be able to do this in real time, or we should say, we go over the scientific method, and then people go off and they go do this?
I can do this for the globe.
Yeah,
Whatever.
because it's your thing, probably. I'm not in tune with the whole methodology.
You're saying you would be able to do it on the fly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kevin,
So-
would you need like a week to do it?
And someone to help, or
Well, you have to.
What do you want? What do you want? The whole where the sun could be at one point, or what do you want?
Yeah. So where are you? You're in Austria, right? I don't know what time
Yes.
is it there. What time is it there right now? It's like 11?
Almost midnight, yeah.
Okay. So it's midnight in Austria. Like, there's no sun right now. Okay. Let's say you wake up at 6 a.m, right? And you look out your window. The sun's going to be somewhere in the horizon, right? You follow? A location that you would determine by XYZ coordinate axis. Got it? So you would have to come up with a formulation, because your view is the Earth is flat, and your formula, which is your hypothesis, your model, would be able to consistently predict where the sun's going to be. I'm just taking hypothetically, wake up at 6 a.m. To derive that model, you have to give what you think the geometry of the Earth is. You have to give us all your assumptions, and then you'd have a formula. Same thing with what Mike would have to do. So the thought is, each person has a chance to present their assumptions, and they say, just like Newton did, F equals, well, we in the example we said it, he gets it wrong, F equals ma squared, right? But you guys would each give your formula, and the audience would be able to really understand your assumptions. But we have an actual model, a mathematical model. And what's fascinating is, I haven't seen, in the stuff that I've gone through, I haven't seen anyone do this in this quote unquote debate. So we would do it real time for people to educate them. So Mike, you're saying you can do it?
Yeah, I have done this quite a bit.
Yeah, because you told Shiva what to do, probably, because you went just to Antarctica and now it's your thing.
Wait.
I'm fine to do it. I'm fine to do it, but I would like to have one thing as well.
No, stop.
No,
That's
but is it now only about
no,
the sun, or will there be other things as well?
stop. You just made an
Question.
Kevin. And if that's where
Question.
they go, we should just, I'm not going to participate because
No, I say I will participate. I say
no,
I can do it. I
I
will do it,
I
but
can't.
I ask for a different
No,
that I can present
I
something as well then.
can't. And I haven't even. I don't. I think I've met Mike through email. We've had one conversation. I think I've had more conversations through Twitter with you than I've had with him on a phone. So
Yeah,
let's stop that right there.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a coincidence that he went to Antarctica with the sun thing whole, but yeah, I doubt. I give it the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Then
Shiva, I have a question. Are you just giving this sun thing as an example, and then the panel members bring up what we think we should do?
yeah,
And if okay, and then are there going to be? You think we'll have multiple potential experiments that we could
well, I think
do?
yeah.
Because I think I know what Kevin wants to get at. I think it's a great idea, if I'm right.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, I think it would be valid. So I'm looking at it from me as a science educator and people watching this, okay? I don't give a fuck about the flat earthers or globe earthers. I'm talking about the young 12-year-old, 15-year-old who should learn the scientific method. That's why I'm doing this. So they're seeing adults get up there and they should represent something in a very cogent and in a very organized way. Does that make sense? Not be yelling at people, not be calling people demons and stuff. Okay. So we want to say, I believe, I'm looking at this observation. I believe across both groups, we should make the observation consistent. You see what I'm saying? If it's a sun rising, I don't know, you could say the North Star, whatever you want to choose. I think we should agree the observation both groups are looking at should be the same. Does that make sense? For
Yeah.
consistency. So I'm proposing the sun. Maybe you want to propose, I don't know, a satellite. I don't, whatever you guys want to propose, but it should be an observation both parties are looking at. An apple falling from the tree. One guy says it's a dragon sucking it to the ground. The other guy says it's gravitation, right? But we're all looking at the same observation. Mm-hmm. So if you don't like the location of the sun, we can propose something else, Mike, Kevin.
Definitely. There's almost everything on the earth is better than the sun, but you can go with the sun, and I try to do my best, but I like to present something far away to see that, and then go for all the variable.
That in Summit 2.0, Kevin. We can keep doing that.
Oh, so it's about the sun. So I just want to clarify. Mike was also asking if there was other things allowed to discuss in Summit 1.0, as I got it right.
No, if you want to propose something else, but I'm saying the observation we should all use. If you think we should use a duck flying, we all use a duck.
No, I propose to watch 50 kilometers and see if we can see something, or even do a mechanical experiment, or watch a plane where it lands, something something closer than the sun, because the sun is far away, many variables in between. So it's not a good experiment. But
okay, so propose a different observation if it's not the sun.
Yeah.
No, and I'm saying, what other observation do you think we all can look at if it's not the sun?
I think 50 kilometers away. You just have to go on a pathway where it's where something is 50 kilometers away, and you should see it, and when you with a globe formula, and then we can talk about the other implications.
Let me get this right. You look at
what?
You look at some object 50 kilometers away
over water.
Yeah,
okay.
And then we check what part we can see and what not. To make it very simple, I have much more complex things. You can have the celestial theodolite, where you have a mountain and a star, or I have a wire in the water which is pulled straight. Many things to do, and what I did already, but everything better than the sun. But I will join the sun. I just say I like to propose something else, even observe something 50 kilometers away over water, because we want to define the ground and not not the sun. I understand the method that you think we don't have a model for the sun, and then you can make a victory lap. But I like to propose something closer than the sun.
Okay. Go ahead, Mike.
No, it was Dan.
Sorry, Dan.
But just as a quick rebuttal to to Kevin on this, is it still comes down to basic geometry as far as whether or not you're going to see the sun based on the geometry of what you're standing on. So if it's flat, it's going to be one thing. If it's globe, it's going to be another. So light in the sky doesn't. The idea that the light in the sky doesn't decide what's on the ground. The geometric fact of it does.
Yeah, what's beautiful about what I like about they're friends of mine who live in the city. They're friends of mine who live in I want, if we, whatever formula comes out of this, we can literally code it up, Kevin, Mike, and we can literally have it on a website. Like whatever formulas you guys come up with, I'm saying maybe the next day you put it up on a website, people type in where they are, and it gives them a location of the sun, and they can see if the sun is there. That's how nice this could be.
Yeah, but you promoted it as we can look for experiment. Some at first, when I saw the video, it sounded like the flat earthers can propose some experiments. That's why I got interested, because I did some stuff. But if you would turn it around, I just need to know. Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, to the interest of the public, it's good to, and to the interest of both groups, it's good to have an observation, the same observation, Kevin. What's nice is we all see the sun rise and we all see the sun set. Every human being sees this. It's so obvious. I think you could say, I think some people can see the North Star. You can take that. But it's such a simple thing. I don't need to live over the water. Wherever I am, I live on a mountain here. I can say 6 a.m., the sun should be there. Let me look at the formula. Is it there? Oh, the flat earthers got it right. Globe earthers, you got it wrong. You say? And everyone can.
It will be both get it right, and then
if it's
there's
both
nothing in it.
Inconclusive. That's what science would say, right?
Yeah, I just tell you what will happen.
Well, if you think something, you already know what the results are. What do you think the results are going to be? The flat earthers will get it wrong, and therefore you're afraid they're going to be wrong, or the globe earthers will get it wrong? Why not
it will be inconclusive, yeah, but we could do, I just say we could do better, because the sun is very long in the debate, yeah. I thought we could do something new together.
Anyone
for example.
Do this. Mike, you and Dan have been in this. Have you seen anyone do this? I don't think so. So
coordinate transfers and models of the sun, different models for flat Earth.
Well, I'm talking about an actual mathematical formula. I've
never seen a flat earther provide a model for anything ever for flat Earth.
So I think
it's never happened. This will be unique. This will be novel.
not the formula. I thought we're not debating.
Well, yeah. I think the bottom line is you have a model, which is the first process. The second thing is I think people should propose how they're going to get this data, which is you look at a certain location. The interesting thing is there are some basic cursory review. There are many, many locations on the Earth in remote and local locations where you can get the location of the sun even from the past. So one thing that could happen is people could run their formulas through past data to see if they're right or wrong. And we could just put up, I'm in Argentina, I'm looking out, where's the sun at this hour? What does a flat Earth model say? What does a round Earth model say? And you get the data right then and there. But I think what's beautiful about this is everyone has to come up with their own formula, and they have to defend it and they have to derive it. And I think it'll make both parties honest, because do they know mathematics? Do they know geometry? And I believe this is why Flat Earth Dave didn't want to come, because I don't think he knows math at all. I don't think he can even add two numbers together. But he does know how to threaten people. So I think
you too. But it's not, I still don't like the whole thing, but I just like to know if there's other things allowed or not, because
I'm just saying, I think Prabhakar, just go back to the scientific method. I think we want to follow the scientific method.
Yep.
So there has to be some observation. We both groups do. There has to be, both groups have to formulate a mathematical model. Both groups execute an experiment, and they have to gather the data and to see if that data, this is a process.
So just a quick aside, I see that we have someone named Ryan in here too. I don't know if that's somebody you want to talk to, have him bring up.
Right.
Yeah, hey.
Yep. So Ryan is a flat earther. Ryan wanted to be part of this. So Ryan, you're going to be teamed up with Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin believes the earth is flat, and MC Toon and Dan and Prabhakar believe the earth is round. So, so what we're talking about, Ryan, you just joined. I know you were a little bit late, but just to simplify this, I don't know if you saw the video, Ryan, that I did on the scientific method. Did you see that? We sent it out in the email.
No, I don't think I've seen it yet.
You should probably see it. Heather sent it out.
Okay.
But an explanation, what is the scientific method? You begin with an observation. I have to actually jump off, guys, in about 5 minutes. But we can do this again tomorrow if you want, because I know there's a number. I think there's one more globe earther and 3 more flat earthers, which are missing. So we can do this again tomorrow. But the essential, Ryan, as we were saying, you have an observation, and you have the development of a model to explain that observation. And what we're saying is both groups must show their ability to derive a mathematical formula. And Mike was commenting that he hasn't seen the flat earthers do it. Kevin says they do have models out there. So I don't know enough about this. Maybe you do, Brian. But once a model's developed, both groups will predict that observation using their model, and whichever group is better at predicting that either is a winner, or if they're both equally good, that means it's inconclusive. That's where we're at, Ryan.
Okay.
So what we were discussing is people may have different math skills. Mike, you may be very good at math. You're a double E. Kevin, you're a media guy. Ryan, I'm not sure all the background stuff you have educationally. Dr. Prabhakar is an engineer. We could, I don't mind letting people quote unquote cheat, where they go off and they can use other tools. They can use even ChatGPT to come up with their formula, Kevin and Ryan, Mike and Dan. But it would be ideal if they derived it on the fly. But if they can't, my question to you from a process standpoint, do we do this and do we let people go off and come back to present essentially box 2, their model?
I think that's going to be an important opportunity for everybody, because you don't necessarily know what's going to come up, and unless we're going to pre-identify what we're going to declare, which I don't think is the idea. Then giving an opportunity to go and then meet with whoever is the expert on either side to help. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I think what I've seen is that people have different math skills, but nowadays there's lots of tools, MATLAB, right?
Yeah.
ChatGPT, Gemini, people can use, and that's okay if they want to quote unquote cheat and come up with their formula, as long as they can explain it. I was thinking about that. Some people don't
Makes sense.
math.
Yeah.
So if you, Ryan and Kevin, on the flat Earth side, we can do this on, I think it's Saturdays when we're meeting, right? November 8th.
Yep.
And if you guys want, we say everyone agrees this is a scientific method, this is what we're going to do. But how much time do we give people to come up with their models? A day? 2 days? A week? It's just a question. Thanksgiving is on the 25th. In the United States, it's a big holiday.
Yeah.
We
I
had
think a week is fair.
I think so.
Okay. Kevin, Ryan, is a week good? Dan, Mike, Prabhakar?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. Week should be sufficient.
Okay, and people can use whatever tools, they can talk to anyone they want. Oh, it's like an open book exam.
And you don't want to have any experiment like now we don't need to see where the sun now goes, but
No, no.
come up with a model.
No, first we do the model, and then when we come back, we then propose the experiment, Kevin. We take it step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6. You see, there's multiple steps here. People need time to build their model, you know?
Yeah.
I think something else that I'm thinking of is you brought this up in Argentina as the northern and southern hemisphere. And I think there's something to this. It seems like everyone's in the northern hemisphere here. Kevin, where are you from?
Also, yeah, or Europe, Austria.
So it's just something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anyone else from the southern hemisphere? Do you know, Dr. Shiva?
Get data from sensors from the southern hemisphere, Ryan.
Say that again?
You can go like online. There's sensors you can get.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think there's sensors on the location of the sun in India. You know, in I don't know, Chennai. You know, governments have created these different sensors.
Okay.
We live in a world now with so much automated data and stuff coming that it's pretty cool. You can get data.
It's just nice to have boots on the ground type of thing as well. You know, I get it. It's just good to have, if we're going to do an experiment that.
But you when we put this online, you came a little late. You could tell people in Argentina to do this live.
Right. Okay.
I don't see an experiment coming from this actually, because the path of the sun is pretty clear.
Well, the experiment is you look out and you see where the sun is. That is an experiment, Kevin. That is an experiment.
Yeah, it's pretty profane, like nothing.
Well,
nothing
it's such a simple.
Yeah, simple, but for the sun, if you want to determine what the sun is or what also the globe model was done from the sun, was built from the sun. It was the first measurement point, so they tried to adapt every other thing.
No, I don't.
After that, but
You're correct. It should predict the location of the sun. What are you missing here?
I'm missing my experiment from the ground, or any experiment from the ground, and not the sun. And I'm not fine with what Dan said, that it's enough of a model to look at the sky, and then the geometry is determined by that.
Okay.
You can have physics. Yeah, we can present a model, but it will be long lasting. It will be kind of a shit show again. It will be.
Wait. Let's just go back.
I'm just telling you that the flat earthers don't accept that, the majority of that. But if you want to make it of that, I will participate.
Wait. Let's just go back to basic science. Okay, 2nd grade, Miss Hall. Okay, school number 4. You have to come up with a mathematical formula for predicting your observation. I don't care what the fuck you're talking about. You fire a projectile, you have to come up with a mathematical formula.
Yes.
So
the projectile is close by.
No, stop.
You use something close by.
It doesn't matter. You should be able to use math.
It matters. It matters that you use something close by if you want to determine what is close by to you, and not a light in the sky. But
you could go get an expert to help you do that. Go to Harvard and get a physicist. You can use anyone you want. Anyone can use anyone you want. We just made it so easy. So we're not confining it to people's math skills. You could go to Harvard. You could go to MIT. You can go Oxford. Go get someone else to help you with the formula. But there must be a mathematical model.
No, there are things that you cannot know, because you cannot know what is the material of the sun, what is in between the sun. Definitely, you cannot measure it.
Why does the material matter? Nobody cares
You
about the
shouldn't.
material to know
Yeah,
where it is.
it can. You need
You-
to include as many variables as possible, and
the
yeah,
material of something doesn't tell you anything about where it is. You don't
of
need to
course,
know what something's made of, right?
gravity.
What is my mug made of? You don't need to know that to know where it is. It's right here, right? I can do the geometry for
You
where it
need to
is without knowing the
know
material.
what
Well,
and what
the
if it
bottom
falls or if it rises,
the bottom
buoyancy, density.
yeah, so you can put all that in your formula.
Yeah,
Whatever you
it's
want to have.
not a good experiment. So many variables,
Good.
and some we cannot determine.
What is the definition of evidence, Kevin?
Evidence, a lot of do an experiment or do a test and
No, what
gather.
is the definition of evidence? If you want to prove the evidence that the earth is flat and some other people want to prove that the earth is a globe, what is the definition of evidence?
Do the scientific method,
Yeah, what is
gather
it?
data, and gather data to do an experiment which is close by to the what you want to measure. You need to
What
measure, do an experiment
But just
related.
as a quick aside, Kevin, you just sit there and said that we can't use the sun, but yet you're bringing up this celestial theodolite, which uses the sun or uses the stars in the sky.
Stars of the sky.
wait,
Yeah,
guys,
which
time out.
the mountain already is closer. You can use, yeah.
Of evidence, Kevin, or anyone.
I'm sorry,
What is
what was
the
it?
of evidence? Prabhakar, you want to put it under scientific method. Evidence is equal to reproducible predictions.
Right.
That is a definition of evidence that you should have learned in third grade.
Yeah, it's unrelated to my concern.
No, evidence is reproducible predictions. So you come up with a model, and if your model repeatedly predicts some phenomenon, that means you have evidence of that hypothesis. If F equals ma is correct, that means Newton's first law is correct because it keeps predicting. Every time I put in a force with so much acceleration or mass, I get this much acceleration. This is basic. So
yeah, but now you have only the kinematics. You don't have a dynamic thing when you have a model for the sun, for example. You can determine a thing which repeats,
words,
and
Kevin,
then yeah, but you don't know
at MIT,
what it is.
they're not separated. You're just making up shit.
Kinematics and dynamics, I'm making up or what?
No,
I
they're
don't.
taught as one course.
Huh?
When you learn dynamics, you learn kinematics and you learn dynamics. Let me just ask basic level setting questions. Can you do a basic integral or derivatives? Do you have like math background?
Nope.
Okay. So you have no mathematical background. Is that why that's why we said you can go get people with help, but you have to be able to do a model.
Yeah.
To do the scientific method. And what I'm coming out of this is that you don't have skills in math.
No, well, I won't present it in English. I'd learn it all in German. My test is with cosine, sine.
Right.
Yeah.
So you should be able to use mathematics that you learn and derive your flat Earth model of where the sun's going to be. That's basic math, geometry. And I'm proposing if you don't know how to do that, you can go to University of Aachen or Austria. You know, I can tell you people in Austria, double PhDs who will help you. You have the right to do that. Both parties do. But people must create a mathematical model. Otherwise, you're not following the scientific method. You're doing something else. And that's why I think the so-called debate has been going on, because people have not been following the scientific method. So anyway, it's 6. I have to take another call. We'll do this again tomorrow. I wanted to do it yesterday and today, but today is Monday. Maybe we'll give people 2 days. And there are 3 more flat earthers who should be on this.
Can you at least tell me, because you globe earthers know each other now, then I can I like to know.
None of them email addresses. People didn't want me sharing them because people were concerned about privacy. I got a lot of this privacy stuff, which I don't care. Everyone knows my name, my email address, but it seemed certain people are concerned about others.
But I can come tomorrow as well, or?
Sure. Yeah.
Kevin,
But-
how about you? I think Kevin, can we exchange information?
Yeah, I just want you guys to decide that I didn't want to share people's emails and phone.
Oh, there's a chat. You just
Yeah, in the
oh,
chat.
it's disabled.
Oh, so Kevin and Ryan, if you guys want, why don't you directly share each other's phone numbers and emails? It's just you guys give the permission to each other. I didn't want Kevin to share your stuff with others.
Yeah, but how do I do it now? I don't have he doesn't have mine.
Yeah, do it right through the chat. Prabhakar, can you make the chat, enable the chat? The new
It is enabled.
yeah, something with
Oh,
the
here is it. Is it working?
If
I
you-
see it disabled.
Yes. You can start a new chat.
yeah, there's something
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
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 there's something weird with the latest version of Zoom, Mike.
So you could send a new chat to specifically Ryan, Kevin, and include
Yeah.
your email address or whatever, and just goes to him.
Oh, I see. Ryan, why don't you send a new chat to Kevin? Or
Yeah, it's only letting me pull up Dr. Prabhakar and your name in the new chat.
It's only Shiva,
That's weird.
Parker, and Shiva.
Let's make them. I think you and I are co-host, Prabhakar. Let's make
I think so. Yeah.
let's make Ryan a co-host. We'll let him do that then.
Yeah.
Or Ryan send Prabhakar your information, and Prabhakar will send it over to Kevin.
Okay, here you go, Prabhakar. I'll send it to you.
I noticed this recently with Zoom. It doesn't. It's something weird. I don't know. They've done something.
Okay,
Got it,
you do the
Prabhakar?
same.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
Send it to him, and
Prabhakar,
Okay,
are you on X as Dr. VJG Prabhakar? Is that you?
No, that's not me.
a
I'll
different
send
one.
you my
Okay.
information.
So Dan, as a Dan.
Yep.
And Prabhakar, you guys can, at your own, consent, share each other's information.
can we make it the same time tomorrow?
We could, yeah. Yeah, there were, yeah.
Hey, Dr.
Okay.
Shiva, can you maybe, or Dr. Prabhakar, or someone send an email to the Flat Earthers and ask them if it's okay if we all share each other's contact info between?
No, I think you guys should do that independently because you guys should talk because some of them are very, very adamant, Ryan.
Okay, no problem.
Told me very specifically. That's why if there's consent here, I'm okay with it because you guys are doing it. I'm not forcing people to do it.
Okay.
But I cannot. You can write our contact to them, but yeah. Or how do I reach? Maybe they come tomorrow. You say?
Yeah, but you can reach Ryan through email.
I'm going to email you right now,
But
Kevin.
the rest of the flat earthers come tomorrow.
Hopefully, if we keep inviting them, we invited 10 of them, they keep dropping out.
And was this now the first meeting, or yesterday was something?
No one showed up yet. I gave people options. No one showed up yesterday.
Okay.
First one. That's why I'm saying I'll do another one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
Kevin, I just sent you an email.
Thanks. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I reply.
And
Okay.
and Prabhakar, I just sent you my contact information.
All right.
okay. So,
Okay. So talk to you tomorrow.
so in closing, we at least 1, 2, 3, 4. How many people? 5 people? 3, 4, 5.
I think it was 6. And then...
How many people are 1, 2, 3, 4? 5 people are here. Everyone understands the scientific method. We are going to do another meeting tomorrow. And in terms of sharing contacts, that's up to you guys, given the privacy stuff people have sort of wanted me to do. We've also agreed that we may extend this. Day 1, we talk about everything, the method, and then for people to go do their formulation, we give them a week. People can come back the following Saturday. Does that work for people? Because the 8th is that a Saturday? The 15th? That's not holidays or anything, is it?
No.
Yeah, the only holiday I have is Veterans Day for some things I have to do. I have planned, and obviously Thanksgiving. So those are the only 2 days that I have basically off to the side. But I can work with Mike and Prabhakar specifically if I have to put in my
Saying it,
input.
I'm saying is we've also changed the rules. We're letting people, I think Mike, you proposed this, that people here can talk to other people as they want between the 8th and the 15th
Yeah,
to come
that
up with
works.
an offer. They can work with whoever they want.
Give as much opportunity as possible.
Yeah, there's no restrictions. It's not just Kevin or Ryan. Kevin and Ryan, you can go talk to 50 other people as you want. Use books, whatever you guys want to use, tools. Same with Dan, Mike, and
Yeah, it's not a
Prabhakar.
math test where we're sitting in class and as a proctor, it's not. It's fine.
Yeah. 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 Nowadays, even in exams, people let you do open book stuff as long as you can explain the concepts to the teacher, which is fine. So I think that takes away people's fear of math. And I think that's what I see is that's affected the flat earth community. Their illiteracy in math has taken them away. So we're taking that away so they can go talk to as many people as they want. They can get help, etc. Okay.
No, it's not okay, but we leave it for today and talk tomorrow.
What's not okay, Kevin? That people get to
Yeah,
go.
the whole method, like at first it sounded like we can talk about experiments. We didn't talk about anything, and you now change the whole game and present something what we have to accept. And it
What
was in
game?
the room
Is not
what?
the scientific method is not my game.
It's not your game, but the sun is your suggestion, and there's no talk about if there could be something else involved. If I could present something now, all of the sudden it's settled, and I don't agree. There's much simpler stuff.
That anyone can do anywhere, and the location of the sun is a very simple thing. So we can do another one, but from my standpoint,
it will be necessary. It will be insufficient, but yeah.
Well, I think you're having problems with doing math, and that's your problem. It's not my problem.
No, it's the whole thing you presented it like we could do some experiment, and now it's the opposite. We cannot do anything anymore and have to follow your experiment.
No, you have to go do a formulation of a location, and you have to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have a consistent observation, and you have to follow the scientific method, which everyone needs to do. And that's called the scientific method. Otherwise, you do something else, and you never come to a conclusion, and it appears there's people making money on the globe earth side and flat earth side, keeping this debate fucking going all day long. And I think that's unfair.
Yeah, that's why you need to do a test which is decisive and which is
the decisive test is you look out, and is the sun at that location, and does your model predict it? It's so black and white. Instead of, I've seen the stuff putting strings here, then people have to get into Snell's law, and you guys are debating nonstop with idiots like Dave, who's a fool, doesn't even know any math. So people have to do the math, and you have 7 days to do the math. There's no restrictions on who you can talk to. You can talk to an infinite number of people. So I think it's very, very fair, and people have to do the math. Yeah, it's unfair if you don't know math.
It has no dynamic implication. It's way too far, but I will come. We can talk tomorrow about more critiques, but also about the test.
Okay. What people may want to do is between now and then, you can see if you can come up with a formulation, see what your math skills are. And if you need help, one of the things I was proposing was there are tools that are available online people can use to people who are math illiterate to do math, or they can get help. We can give a bunch of tools also. If anyone knows any of those tools, maybe we can, Prabhakar, we can put them and we can publish them too. So everyone's on the same level playing field. Okay. This is basically geometry. I think that's what it is. All right. So tomorrow we'll do the same thing. What did we say at 5 p.m.?
5 Eastern. Yeah.
Sure. That works.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
I think the people we missed were Nagasi came in and he left because I guess he got pissed off because he just wanted to interrupt whenever he wanted to. And another gentleman is missing. So hopefully those two people come. And then the other three people will come from the Flat Earth group.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you, everyone.